Hi, I thought I'd take the moment to talk to you about some things. Dad to child. As your father, I think that I should tell you a life, and with every life comes the Red Hood DLC. You see, when I first played Arkham Knight, I was left stunned in different ways. You see, because I was stunned with a masterpiece. That was the ending. That whole asylum bit where you play as the Joker. I wasn't stunned about the reveal of Jason Todd, but instead seeing Jason as Red Hood helping Batman, finally forgiving him. Because I strongly disliked the reveal and how they went about it. Much like having you as my child, mistakes happen. But I do love the small moment where he does help. So when I finally played the Red Hood, I felt underwhelmed. Now, the whole story revolves around you tracking down and killing Black Mask. And I'll be honest, that shit is so goddamn tight. If there's one thing right now, it's that Jason Todd knows how to make things tight, like his tight ass pants. I think it's fun, but I wanted more variety. He has a fucking sniper, and when you play as him, you're stuck with dual wield pistols. I actually made a video this playing this DLC in first person. Um, Pretty good one. I'm sure you've seen it. Your mom loves it, I think. There's only 3 main stages of the actual DLC that you actually fight through. An armed steel meetup, a dock, and the hideout. The first one is a combat encounter. The second one is a predator encounter. And the third one is a boss fight that doesn't even feel like a boss fight. The story goes as follows. Jason Todd, now donning the name Red Hood, goes to stop an arms deal between Black Mask and the Penguin. After defeating the men, Red Hood interrogates the last guy. Ooh, and in that last guy, he says to Red Hood that there's a weapon shipment around Gotham docks. I know. He really spilled the beans. So he goes to the docks. Red Hood goes to the docks naturally, right? You're getting it right. Good, good. I'm trying to make sure you understand, child. And so he takes out all the men's, but except for one. He leaves one men. He leaves one man alone, and interrogates him. He starts talking back, much like you do, but he eventually breaks, and he eventually tells Red Hood where Black Mask is hiding. So he goes to the hideout. He takes out a few guards, if you will, not on a date. This is more of just like a situation. I think he just kind of fights until Black Mask is tired, and then he kicks him out the window. Jesus, and so he kicks him out the window. That's the whole story. You're welcome. And look, I'm not saying every DLC has to be as great as Cold Heart or Matter of Family. I'm not saying that at all. This DLC was a pre-order bonus, right? So I get that it won't spoil much of the main game, and that it won't really add too much in terms of story. But honestly, this could have been challenge maps, kind of like the initiation, back on Origins, right? Because that's basically what this is. I just don't like going back to it like Matter of Family or even the Nightwing DLC, because I think GCPD is the way cooler Predator encounter. What I liked about Red Hood DLC is that it is fun to play, but the guns just kill somebody. You don't even need to aim, so it feels too easy to get through these because you just wait till you can shoot again and then you just shoot again. I don't even think you can call the boss fight a boss fight. It's 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 barely a fight. And as you can see, you're just trying not to be shot. That's it. You're just trying not to be shot. And You just keep rushing him until he gets winded, you know, and then you just kind of win. I thought a really fun gun thing could have been fun. But, I feel like it would have been cool to see Red Hood and Black Mask meet at like high noon, give me a real gunfight there. It doesn't even have to be like, oh, it's a gun. Like gunfights are easy with like normal criminals. At the end of the boss fight, you up to, get the shot off. Yeah. Something to really spice it up. And as a pre-order bonus, I guess I get it, but compared to the other story DLCs, I just don't go back to this one. What's the point of this? What's the point of this video? I mean, what's the point of the talk? The birds and the bees, the bees and the bees and the birds, if you will. This DLC is fun. It is son and daughter and everything in between because I respect you as my child. I am a loving father. So the DLC is fun, but it lacks the need to be nothing more than challenge maps. Honestly, while I like the concept, making it longer and with more variety would be pretty great. If it had 5 plus stages instead of just 3, to at least beef it up, you know, because even the initiation has more stages more than this one. As I sit here and talk about this with you, as every good father does to their amazing, beautiful, handsome, and anything in between child, it would just be nice to have, a little bit extra to kind of beef it up. Because while I really like Jason Todd and I do make fun of him a lot, it's still really fun to play as him. And I love playing as him on challenge maps. But these even if they are challenge maps, the stages themselves aren't that fun. They aren't that creative, not like a GCPD as I mentioned before with Nightwing, with Dick. Don't go to your mother and say you're playing Dick, you know, say you're playing as Dick. Just say Nightwing. Thanks for being cool. I was really nervous to talk about this. Your mother's been nagging me about it. So yeah, any questions? You're gonna have to ask your mother about that one. I mean, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Go ask your mother.